Hey everyone, this is a review of the new M12 Rover Service and Repair Floodlight. This is the second Rover that Milwaukee has introduced in the M12 line. The first one they're now calling the M12 Rover Mounting Floodlight. So I'm going to talk about the differences between these two, try to help you make a decision between them. Maybe you just want both anyway because they both have their own strengths. Just to avoid any confusion, this one's model number 2367-20 and the old one is 2364-20. So let's take a closer look and see it in action. So here's the light up close. It's a really compact design. It's got a pivoting 110-degree head here that turns from one side to the other. So if you mount this with the magnets on it, or if you set it flat on a surface above you, you can have it angled down. You can sit it on the floor, have it angle up, or if you suspend it from the top here, you can point it whichever way you want to do. These magnets on the back are super strong. They will grab onto just about anything as long as you have enough contact area for them. When you put a 4-amp-hour battery and you try to turn this sideways though, if you don't have a lot of metal behind it, it can kind of turn like that. If you put it upright though against something, it's not going to be coming down. So I think these magnets are plenty strong, and if you want something that's a little bit more secure, you've got a spot for a keyhole slot with a screw. Just run something into a wall or a stud, and you can hang it up that way. This does work with all M12 batteries. So here's what it looks like with an XC. You can see there's just a little bit of space here between the bottom of the pivoting head and the stick out portion of the battery. So I prefer to use it with a compact battery. It's just a little bit lighter. So the weight on this thing is right around 12 ounces, which is a huge difference between the original one, which is over 2 pounds by itself. There's also a 2.1 amp USB output port on this. It's behind this little cover. You wouldn't even know it's there unless it had this little insignia for USB. It just pops right off here. It's got a rubber seal on the top of it. You can use this to charge other USB devices. It will not charge the M12 battery in this though. So you can even hook it up to your M12 charger and charge another battery. I don't know why you do that, but you can. So you can charge phones, other things. You can even charge Milwaukee USB lighting as well off of this. Also, it does keep charging when you turn the light on. Now, one thing the original M12 Rover had that I wish this one did is this separate on-off button and a mode button. So this will just come up in the last mode you had it on, and you can cycle through the modes by hitting the mode button. With this one, it comes up in high every time, and you have to hit it again to get to low, and then you have to hit it again to turn it off. So it's only one extra button press, so it's not too bad. I do wish it had an extra mode button, but I can live with this. Also on the top here, you've got your battery charge indicator, which tells you how much status you have left on your battery. And this little button right here turns on the USB charging. So if you just plug something in on this, it won't actually turn on and start charging it. You have to hit this button, and I'm assuming that's saving battery life and keeping this tool from draining the battery just with a little bit of trickle current going through this USB charger when it's not needed. So that's a good feature that it has right here. It'll also light up those battery status indicators. As you can see, there's a huge difference in form factor between these two. This one is just so much more compact. So the differences between these are light output. This one's 1,000 lumens. This one's 700. Runtime is insane. On a 4-amp-hour battery, this one does 8 hours, and I timed it. It got almost exactly 8 hours before it started flashing and telling me it was out of batteries, and it lasted a few more minutes, like less than 5 minutes past 8 hours. This one only does 3.5 hours on a 4-amp-hour battery on 1,000 lumens. So 300 more lumens, basically half the runtime here. So on medium, this one will run 24 hours on 250 lumens. This one does 15 hours at 200 lumens on low. So Milwaukee has done a ton of engineering as far as making this more efficient. This one's got 16 LEDs on it, and this one only has 5. And I think a lot of that is they've got more efficient LEDs, and using more, not driving them as hard, makes it more efficient and keeps that battery lasting longer. One note, I did run this on a 2-amp-hour battery. I used 3 different 2-amp-hour batteries, and I only got 3.5 hours each time instead of 4, which you would expect if it was linear output. So either all of my batteries were old and degraded, which seems like a low chance that every single one of them had that problem, or you do get a boost in efficiency from using the 4-amp-hour battery. So here's the smaller Rover on high. This is 700 lumens. This is the only source of illumination I've got in my basement. It's got plenty of light for up-close tasks. It's not going to light up a whole room, but definitely wherever you're working, whether it's under a sink, on an electrical panel or something, this is a great option to have. And this is on the low, so this is 250 lumens. Still quite a bit of light, insane 24-hour runtime on a 4 amp hour battery. So just for comparison, this is the M12 original Rover. It throws quite a wider pattern of light here. It is 1,000 lumens on high, but it does have a lot less runtime than the new M12 service and repair floodlight. But this does a better job of lighting up most of a room that you're working in. It's just not quite as compact. So big advantage this new one has is it's so compact. It takes up a lot less space. You can fit it in places that you can't fit the original M12 Rover. You do sacrifice a little bit of light output, but you're gaining a lot less in weight, a lot more in portability, and you do get a USB charging feature. Now you do have a couple less mounting options. It's just magnets or keyhole slot or setting it somewhere. With the original one, you could put it on a stud like this, and it had a hanging spot that you could hang it from this loop right here. I do wish this one had something that you could attach a lanyard to or something. That would have been a nice extra little bit, but that's really the only thing I can think of that I'd want to add to this light. That and maybe a mode selection button, but it's not too bad just having 2 modes to cycle through. So overall, I think this is a great little light. I'm super impressed with it, and it's been working really well for me so far. Price point on this one is $60, on the old one is $80, so you get a little bit more brightness with the old one, you get lots more runtime and a little less brightness, but a more compact package with the new one with a few less mounting options. So overall, I think both of these are at a great price point. I think both of these are phenomenal lights. I don't think you'll be disappointed with whichever one you pick. So thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments section below if you have any questions or which light you prefer and why. And once again, don't forget to subscribe.